Hi, I'm Paul Janowski, and this is my Intro to Info Science and Technology final presentation. My ADIK system is the Automatic Number Plate Recognition System. So what is it? If you're ever driving down the highway and you happen to be on a toll system and you see these little canister looking things on poles by the toll booths, those are the automatic number plate recognition cameras. Those cameras are used to take a picture of your license plate on your vehicle, and it's checked against the database to see if your car is wanted or stolen or any other kind of crime that's out there. Controversial in some circles, but very effective tool in law enforcement. It's also known as the ANPR. Automatic number plate recognition is a technology that utilizes optical character recognition on images to read vehicle registration plates. So essentially what it does is it takes pictures of your plate, and the technology uses a black and white high contrast image of the characters on the plate themselves. It's then converted from the characters to a text, which is then uploaded to a system. It uses a closed-circuit TV camera or specifically designed cameras for this task, which essentially are infrared cameras that are shooting pictures or taking pictures at a shutter speed of 1/1000th of a second. This is to avoid blurring or any anti-aliasing in the digitizing process. The system was invented in 1976 in the United Kingdom. It was used to test traffic patterns and speeding traffic on the A1 highway system. By 1979, the prototypes were designed and put into place all over the United Kingdom. In the 1990s, the system that is being used today in squad cars and law enforcement vehicles of all kinds is the one that has been employed the most and is readily available now for these departments. And this is the version that I'm going to focus on because I do have some knowledge of the system working on it with the Milwaukee Police Department. This is a police car and the system components that are used for the ANPR system. It consists of cameras which sit on the light bar on the top of the vehicle, which is interfaced to the actual DVR, which is this box here, which resides in the trunk. The laptop, which is used in the squad car, is the processing software that will take the image that's here and will then run the software and all the operations of it through the computer software here. As said before, these are digital infrared cameras, so it could be used in any kind of weather situation. It could be dark, it could be misty, it could be foggy, snowy. You could be moving at 90 miles an hour, depending on what operation you're using. The software extracts the characters from the plate and then gets converted to text by using an optical character recognition program. When that's all set, the data is transmitted to the cloud where databases from many sources reside. It's compared against those from the Department of Motor Vehicles, Department of Justice, and the National Crime Information Center. Right here is the camera that is used on the Milwaukee Police Department. We have 4 of them on the 2 corners on the front side of the light bar and 2 on the back corners. This part here is the lens with autofocus, and all these little LED lights here are actually infrared lights. So the data sensing system of this ADIK is the camera system. For highway patrol vehicles or sheriff vehicles that are on the highway, cameras will need more tweaking in the high speed realm because of the higher speeds you're traveling. However, because you're in a vehicle, your speed is actually slower because you are traveling towards the object and you're kind of meeting the speed of the vehicle. Unlike a stationary pole cam where you're going to need a high speed camera as well. They're looking more at longer lenses, and on top of that, on top of the light bar, you'll see them stacked up there so that they can read farther in the distance. Local municipalities like the city of Milwaukee only need short focal length lenses because we're only looking at parked vehicles or normal traffic speeds. We're not looking at high speed traffic. So this is happening while you and I are talking in class or whatever. Those pictures are taken and sent up and already acquired. Within 10 to 20 seconds, you'll have a response back. The data transmission is by wireless air cards in the police computer vehicle. The wireless air cards send the text data up, and what's nice is this isn't video that's being sent where video needs extra wide bandwidth. There is no need for that because these are just digital photographs. The display on the system for us is typically a laptop computer. In this case, a Panasonic Toughbook is being used in our computer system. That computer is used for many uses. It's used for the CAD, or the computer-aided dispatch, which is where the officers text other officers or get reports or actual what they call hitches. BOLOs, be on the lookout, messages come through. The other issue, or the other application that's coming through now, is the software for the ANPR system. The cameras, again, in this case, here's a better picture of where they're located in a squad car. So next time you're on the road and you see some of these things on a squad car, that's what those are. So how does it acquire the data? Well, an officer could be moving. In this case, there's an actual car moving in traffic with him and one that's parked. This red cone is actually the area that the picture is being taken. That's after it's acquired the license plate in the photograph. It's tweaked so it knows what to look for there. So the system will now acquire the data as the photograph, like this. This is the plate as the camera sees it. This is the digitized form of it, the high contrast, and then the conversion. This is the file that gets sent to the cloud. It's now checked against the databases that were mentioned earlier. The officer will then be alerted as to whatever warning message that's coming back. So if it's a stolen vehicle or an Amber Alert or anything, the alert message will come up of some sort and tell what it is, or if it's not a valid plate at all. So the officer is driving along. The system is wonderful in the sense that they don't have to manually type in a plate number as they're driving, like they are having the anti-texting messages coming out now saying it's not right to text. This is essentially the same thing. So a hands-off approach is ideal. The officer is driving the vehicle, doesn't even activate it. It's turned on when they go. It picks up a car plate and sees what's around it, and then will tell you right away in a matter of 10 or 15 seconds that there is a vehicle that is wanted or that attention should be made to it. It can also go through stationary parking lots like this or parking structures and can go through and take pictures. There are two groups that are used with the Milwaukee Police Department for this system. The first one is the install group. The crew is responsible for getting the equipment into whatever vehicle is given to them. So we're given the mounting hardware, the power connections, and the computer docking station. All that equipment, along with the physical equipment that comes with it, we have to install it. And it's pretty much a standard install for every vehicle. Now, say if they want to put it into an undercover vehicle, those are special circumstances, but it is done, and it is done once in a while. But we have plans for those cars whenever is needed. The second group is the actual police officers. They receive the training on the operations, how to operate it, from turning the unit on, to downloading their information, to uploading to the cloud, to retrieving things from the cloud. And with their training and their everyday use, they'll be able to report any troubles to us technicians whenever there's problems, so we can fix them as it's needed. As with anything, there is privacy issues that come into play. Concerns about profiling citizens have always come to light with systems like this. For instance, in New York, the police department were outfitted unmarked police vehicles at one time with the plate readers, and they were driving up and down the streets of New York near a specific mosque. The officers were collecting license plate numbers of the worshipers at the mosque for potential use in finding connections with terrorist networks. Immediately, a flag goes up about profiling. As a matter of fact, the ACLU has said a citizen's right to privacy is violated whenever a government records movements of individuals who are not subject of an investigation. That may be true, but also remember that after 9/11, things have changed drastically as far as how we approach our everyday lives. Law enforcement are being proactive to try to thwart with the NSA as well as other government agencies to help in the fight on terror, but also on local crimes. As long as the police department doesn't solely rely on this system, I believe it's a good system to be used. As a matter of fact, an officer was quoted as saying, "This is just another tool. When I'm out here doing motor vehicle work, I don't rely just on this. I take my 22 years of experience in spotting violations coupled with this." This is the same thing with the debate on body cameras. Body cameras are turned on, it records the crime, but does it still fix anything? No, it doesn't. It's just a tool. They don't rely on that to do their job. So I think the social issues will always be there. But as long as you're not breaking the law, I'd say you wouldn't have anything to worry about. That's just my opinion on it. Well, that's my presentation on the ANPR system. I hope I gave you some insight on this system. Thank you very much.